Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to go through the top 10 ways that narcissists try to look like they're super smart while they're in court or negotiations or litigation or any kind of situation like that, but they're not faking anybody. I'm going to be exposing their secrets right here in this video right now. I'm Rebecca Zung. If you are brand new here, I'm a globally recognized narcissist negotiation expert, a top attorney, and also the best-selling author of Slay the Bully, How to Negotiate with a Narcissist and Win. And if you've ever had to face a narcissist in court or negotiations, you've probably seen them pull all sorts of tricks and try to make themselves look smarter or more competent than they actually are. But we're going to break it down for you right now. So we're going to expose them, right? If you're new here, I invite you to subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss one single tip or trick. All right. So number one is correcting minor mistakes for personal gain. So first up is narcissists love to correct others on small details, especially when it comes to grammar or facts, even when it's unnecessary. So for example, if somebody uses a word incorrectly, like saying entitled instead of titled, they choose to correct them to get that ego boost, even if it's not an appropriate time to make a correction, or even they correct even when it's not the correct correction. Sometimes I've seen somebody say like regardless, which is the right way to say the word, and I've seen them correct and say no, it's irregardless, which is not even a right word. They do that also to make themselves look better. They won't let a mistake slide. They try to weaponize things, they try to weaponize mistakes, and it's all about creating a narrative so that they can come out on top. They'll look for any little way that they can try to come out looking like better than the other person. The next one is using big words incorrectly. While they're trying so hard to look smart, they'll try to find other big words. Like while they're around correcting everybody else, they're actually making mistakes themselves. They'll misuse words, especially like technical jargon, especially in the legal field. Amateur attorneys over here, so they're using, I don't even know, findlaw.com or whatever, they're online with their Google search or whatever, and they've talked to some friend who's a paralegal somewhere, and they hear some impressive word that, you know, res ipsa loquitur or whatever, and they start working it into a sentence without fully understanding what it means just to seem smart. And I've seen these narcissists use phenomenological thinking, thinking like, oh, it means like phenomenal or whatever. It doesn't. Like, they just like these crazy things to try to make it sound like they're super high end or they're higher than everybody else. They understand what's going on in the legal process. But to them, they're looking more intelligent than everyone, including all the lawyers in the room, by the way. And then the next one is focusing on topics they assume that other people don't know. They'll look for topics that they can dominate the conversations with niche knowledge about. They assume that no one else in the room knows enough to challenge them on. So, you know, it could be engineering or politics or cooking or whatever it is. But anything that they can throw in their random jargon and sound like an expert. But if somebody with real expertise comes along and joins that discussion, they will definitely want to immediately shift topics and move on to something else because they don't want to be exposed on that. The next one is stubbornly supporting a weak position. Even if they've been called out, even if they've been demonstrated to be shown that that position is a weak position, or even if there's no position there, they'll dig their heels in just to show that they're right. They don't want to be perceived as flawed or wrong, and they think that backing down would mean admitting that they're wrong. And to a narcissist, that is completely unthinkable. You could show them 1,000 text messages or a video showing that they're wrong or whatever it is. They can be confronted with actual facts. They'll find a way to twist the narrative to maintain their illusion of whatever it is. It doesn't matter. So that's why I always say never jade, never justify, argue, defend, or explain, because you ain't convincing them of nothing. Have you ever met somebody, they started off to be the most charming, charismatic person you've ever met in your life, then they turned out to be your worst nightmare, and then when you go to negotiate with them, they're a living hell? Well, I developed something called the SLAY method of negotiating with narcissists, and it has helped tens of thousands of people in more than 150 countries win, go from feeling drained and defeated to getting the outcomes they want. And the reason why it works is because I spent more than 20 years studying narcissism as a trial attorney, and now I'm here to help you win too, and also take your suffering and turn it into your superpower. Take your pain and turn it into profit, peace, and purpose as a highly specialized, high conflict negotiation coach. If you want to learn how to do it, then just go to RebeccaZung.com/apply, and I will show you how. Next one is attacking others instead of the argument. So that's why I always say focus on facts, not people, and try to keep it redirected to the facts, because if you get all sidetracked with them, they're going to get way off scope. And if they can't win based on logic and facts, they turn to personal attacks. And the minute they are off track, and in that emotion, they go straight to the personal attacks. If somebody misspells a word, makes a minor mistake, or points out that they did that, they will go on the attack. And they are constantly looking for ways to attack the other person, because they're the most judgmental people on the planet. So if somebody does one small thing that's wrong or whatever, then they generalize one misspelling, one typo to that person's an idiot. They discredit the entire person, and they avoid addressing the entire issue. Oh, I can't talk to that person. That person misspelled this. You know, they're obviously stupid. They don't know what they're talking about. I'm not having this conversation. That's it. We're done. That's the type of personality type that you're dealing with there. So if you guys have seen this, put totally in the comments below. I know that you have. You know, you're in the middle of mediation, you're in the middle of trying to have a conversation. That's what you're dealing with. And they're just looking for any excuse to just get up, walk away, be done, because then they're in control. And that's why you need to have a support system and team around you. Grab my free phrases for disarming narcissists at disarmthenarc.com. Those are key phrases for disarming narcissists. You can go to disarmthenarc.com to get those. And then also join my free private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. Will help you tremendously. The next thing is blaming others for their mistakes. You know, it's projection and deflection. That's what I call it. Lie and deny, and projection and deflection. When the evidence is undeniable that they've made a mistake, what are they going to do? Well, they're certainly not going to admit fault. That's unthinkable. I was given bad information. Somebody's trying to sabotage me. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. They have to shift blame because of their fragile ego. There's no way that they're taking that on. It's just too much. Their little egos are going to crush under the fragility of all of that. They have to keep up the facade that they're perfect, intelligent. That image is more important to them than anything. The next one is they'll use words like logic and fact and reason, even though there's nothing to back it up. But they'll say it with complete conviction. I mean, it's crazy. And they'll get a lot of people to believe them to a certain extent. And they make themselves sound like the voice of wisdom, because they'll say it with complete authority. I mean, my father used to say, whatever you say it with authority, people will believe you. But, you know, if they say it with complete authority, they'll say it without proving one point, without one shred of evidence. Just because people throw these things out there, just because they say it, doesn't mean it's true. I mean, I say to you, don't freak out just because they say things, because in the court of law, They have to have evidence. They're going to have supporting documentation. The next thing is dismissing qualities that they don't possess themselves. So they tend to dismiss and downplay traits that they don't have. Oh, this person just got lucky. Or they dismiss or downplay traits that they're jealous of as well. If they have more education, anyone can just get a degree. Oh, or they might say, oh, that person, built their business on a pyramid scheme, or that person cheats on their wife. They always have to kind of put them down because they just have to. There's no way that they could admit somebody is better than them in any way. It always is a threat to their sense of self. The next one is lying about what facts they have, lying about what evidence they have, lying on pleadings, lying in court, lying about you. It really kind of goes on and on, right? They try to make themselves look like they're so smart, they're so good, and then the other person is not. So, they'll exaggerate their IQ, they'll exaggerate their job qualifications, but when they're pressed for details to get proof on anything, they do not have it. But you will. Documentation is king. That is the key. Supporting documentation, supporting evidence, and having the summaries done the right way, and having your witnesses and having your videos, all of that, that's what you need. And then the next thing is pretending to understand complex information. They're know-it-alls. That is what it comes down to. Pretend they know or they understand what's happening sometimes when they don't understand what's happening. And that can be particularly frustrating to lawyers when they're trying to tell lawyers how to run their cases or whatever, or they're trying to explain to them what the law is. When they don't understand that, they say things and they're completely wrong a lot of times. And they try to look knowledgeable when they are not knowledgeable. They are giving false advice to people a lot of times, which can be a problem. I would love to know which ones you guys have seen and which ones you would add. So many ways that narcissists try to beef themselves up, build themselves up to try to make themselves look smarter than they actually are. But, these are just a handful of them. If you are facing a narcissist in a high stakes situation or a court situation, just know that these are just tactics for smoke and mirrors. A lot of times there's nothing behind it. It's just sand underneath there. I would love to hear what your stories are. Just let me know. If you like the video, give it a like, give it a share, like it and share it. Make sure that you subscribe here and hit that bell so you don't miss any future insights. Make sure you grab the free Disarm the Narc phrases at disarmthenarc.com. That way you'll be hitting all of these tactics head on. Remember that knowledge is power. Creating great retail experiences is super tough nowadays, especially for people who have multiple locations. I don't even have multiple locations, but my staff is in multiple locations. So when you've got separate workflows, it's a lot. But you can do it without all the complexity. You can have a unified command center and bring everything together, especially if you've got places all over the world or staff all over the world. I use it for shop.rebeccazung.com to sell all my courses, all my super cool merch, and it makes it so easy. And I can even offer payment plans seamlessly. It just makes it so simple for my customers to shop wherever, whenever they want. And it gives my team the tools they need to close the deal every single time. And let's face it, acquiring new customers can be expensive, but with Shopify's POS, point of sale, you can keep the existing customers happy, go get new customers, new shoppers, and have a consistent, tailored experience and first-party data that gives your marketing team a competitive edge. Want more? Check out shopify.com/negotiate, all lowercase, and learn how to create the best retail experience without complexity. That's shopify.com/negotiate. The next video that I want you to watch is the only way to expose a narcissist in court, as revealed by a top trial attorney. So remember that today is a great day to start negotiating your best life, and I will see you in that next video. Narcissists have a confession to make, and that is that they are way more afraid of you than you are of them, especially in court cases, mediation cases, or any kind of cases where you have to negotiate with them. But you know what? I have a confession to make too. I'm sick and tired of these people bullying you and making you feel exhausted and paying way too much in attorney's fees and dragging you through the mud. My name is Rebecca Zung, and I'm an attorney. I've been recognized by U.S. News as one of the best lawyers in America. And in fact, I was so sick and tired of these people bullying you that I started studying narcissism so that I could beat them in the courtroom. And now I'm here to make the case so that you can win too. I developed a 4-part proven blueprint that has helped tens of thousands of people take back their freedom, win, and get back their power. And now I'm sharing it with you in a special live event, Outsmart the Narcissist, the 4-part proven plan to take back your power. 4 simple steps, 1 free live event, 1 free hour of your life. That's what stands between you being in hell and you being free. Join me, click the link for Outsmart the Narcissist, the 4-step proven plan to take back your power. Just click the link and let's go.